Starting to get warm. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lone Wolf 902. So I'm just sitting down enjoying a coffee. Really hot coffee. Oh man, that's good. So as you can see, we're back out at the Bushcraft Basecamp, and things are looking really good. I gotta get this jacket off. I'm starting to get pretty warm. So I've been here for probably about an hour now, and been kicking around, and lit a fire, made a coffee, did a couple camp chores off camera, and I gotta say, it's beautiful out today. Sunshine. I know I'm rolling my sleeves up and everything right now, but it's actually quite chilly out. So as soon as I sit down and sit for about 5-10 minutes, I can really feel the cold air coming in. So I went ahead and I brought a nice jacket. I got my big wool sweater, and this is going to be a Bushcraft overnighter. So I'm going to be sleeping on the ground. Wool blanket, like I said, wool sweaters. I did bring a synthetic sleeping bag that I'm going to be laying out on the ground just to kind of keep some of the bugs off me, because it's not quite winter yet, and some of the bugs are still kind of creeping and crawling around. But anyways, keep things short. I'm going to bump around camp a little bit more. I'm going to collect a little bit more firewood and get ready for supper. So I'm going to be doing a steak and some mushrooms over the fire. That's going to be awesome. And I got some good beer this time. As always, I mean, I got good beer always, but I got some new beers this time that I want to show you guys. So stick around. This is going to be fun. Oh, and one more thing. This is the first overnighter at this shelter. So can't miss that. I mean, it's going to be great. So stick around and we'll get into it. All right, so while the sun's still high in the sky, I'm gonna come in here and get the bedding area set. So tonight I have my green tarp that I used in my last video in the hot tent overnighter that I did. This is my ground sheet that I basically use all the time in the winter in wet conditions and whatnot. So I went ahead and I brought this with me. I do have a closed cell foam sleeping pad that I'm also going to lay down, and then a wool blanket, and then my mummy bag. So I got a couple things going on here. Just because it's the first night that I'm out here, I really didn't want to be bothered with bringing this, bringing that, and getting set up with the bed, because I'm still not sure if I'm going to be doing a high raised bed or a low raised bed. But the biggest thing for me was just get out here and enjoy it and stay the night in it. So that's what I'm doing. It's actually pretty comfortable, I gotta say. That's not terrible at all. It is still sloped downhill slightly, so my head will be up at this end, feet down there, and it's really not bad. Like, it looks bad, but I'm actually quite comfortable. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sleeping pad in here, my wool blanket put down, and all that good stuff. And the reason I have the wool blanket, not only just for warmth, but I think I'm going to put part of it under me, and then I'm going to drape the rest over top. And what that'll do is, if any sparks pop out of the fire overnight, they'll land on my wool blanket instead of hitting my synthetic sleeping bag and this material. So it basically works as a fire retardant material. So hopefully I won't catch on fire. Very important. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the bedding set up and get that out of the way, and then I won't have to worry about it later on in the dark. Because the only source of light that I have on this trip is the fire and my lantern. So I'm not going to be lighting the lantern until later on. But yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cozy. Alright guys, so basically got the bedding set up for tonight. As you can see, I'm sitting on top of my wool blanket right now. Underneath of that is my sleeping bag. Underneath of that is my closed cell foam mattress that I was talking about. You can probably see a bit of it sticking out down there. It's just a 1-inch cheapo mat from Walmart. And then underneath of that is my tarp, my rain fly, just to kind of give me a little bit of dry ground if there's any moisture I don't want it coming up through. So I should mention that this trip is not a bushcraft trip. I'll get that out of the way right now. It is a camping trip, and what I'm going to do on this episode is basically I'm just coming out camping, and I want to make sure that it is campable. I want to make sure that I can stay the night out here and everything's good before I actually come out and start my bushcraft segments and bushcraft trips and that type of content. So don't beat me up in the comments saying that's not bushcraft, this isn't bushcraft. There's really not a whole lot of bushcraft content in this video, other than, you know, we're going to be doing some cooking and fire lighting and basic stuff that you guys see in all the other videos. But as far as the actual camping goes, it's going to be a camping video. I mean, it's an overnighter. So that's the deal with what's going on. As you can see, like I already mentioned, the bed set up. I want to move my attention to, I think I got firewood pretty good. I'm looking behind over here. I got enough firewood over there and there. I'm going to be up late tonight. I'm going to be chilling out, sitting down by the fire, having a couple beer. So I got enough firewood to kind of give me a little bit of heat, because it is going to be cold tonight. I have my lantern above the camera right now that I'm going to be using for light, so I'm not worried about light. And other than that, I got a couple airplanes flying over right now, which is kind of annoying. So hope that's not coming up in the microphone too much. But yeah, just going to get on with the day. And like I said, the bed's all set, all the gear's taken care of, firewood's done. Let's just get on with it. Alright guys, so I'm just getting the grill ready for the steak. Get this over the fire where my coals are at. Situated there. Alright, so here we got the steak in the packaging. I got a garbage bag that all this garbage will go in off camera. But open up my spice kit here. For spice, I'm going to do black peppercorn. A lot of pepper. I've also got some Montreal steak seasoning. I'm going to hold off on this because I actually kind of have the makings of that. But here we got some garlic powder. I've got some sea salt, a little bit of salt. And I've got a bit of oregano. Go ahead and get this on this side. And then I want to go ahead and flip it over and do the same on the other side. Get this pressed in there. To go with my steak, I brought a couple of big mushrooms. Go ahead and get these guys on here. Alright, steak's on, cooking away. So, I got a Harvest Pumpkin Ale from Nine Locks Brewery. And, well, it's fall time. Why not crack into a pumpkin ale? See what this bad boy says. Haven't done this in a while. Let me read to you. Nine Locks Brewing Company is located in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, close to the historic Shubenacadie Canal. To create the best beer possible, we brew in small batches using all natural ingredients. Okay. A dark amber ale with a full body and residual sweetness. The pumpkin and spices combine to give a unique flavor to this seasonal offering. A malty backbone provides mouth fullness, balancing the crisp spicing. That was a mouthful. So we got a 5.2% Harvest Pumpkin Ale. Well, let's get into it. Ooh. Got a bit of a runny nose right now from the smoke, but oh, it definitely smells like pumpkin. Nice dark amber color, just as it says. Mmm. Cold. Oh wow, that's an interesting one. It's like a mild pumpkin. And I should mention, right now in Nova Scotia, we actually have 3 breweries making pumpkin. So we got Breton Brewery, which has their pumpkin ale, Propeller, and now 9 Locks. All 3 of them have pumpkin available. And I gotta say, this one so far is probably more on the mild side. Propeller makes an excellent, excellent pumpkin ale. Really spicy, definitely get a punch of pumpkin. And Breton is kind of in between this one and Propeller. It's not as punchy and spicy, but you definitely get more of a pumpkin-y taste than you do here. I don't know, let's give this guy another hit. Yeah, this one you definitely get more of a beer, more of an ale flavor. It's a real subtle pumpkin. Good. Really good. Very nice. Now we'll be sipping on this guy. I can now get, all I can smell now is steak. It does smell good though. So we'll sip on this, we'll cook our steak and mushrooms. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Have our mushrooms coming along. Getting nice and warm. Okay. Steak is done. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this right now because it smells amazing. Get into one of these juicy mushrooms. Mmm. Oh man. Oh yeah. What I did is I put a cut in one side of the steak and then I flipped it over on top of the mushrooms. So all that steak juice all dripped out on top of the mushrooms as it was over top of the fire. So it really cooked in the steak flavor directly into the mushrooms. And you get that smoky, crispy barbecue flavor. Oh man. Oh yeah. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Oh man. Good mushrooms, good steak, good beer. Oh, buddy. Fire's still going in the background. Yeah, I want to kick back and enjoy this. Whew. All right, so I'm all done supper. I gotta say, that steak was bang on. That thing cooked on the fire for, excuse me. That thing cooked on the fire for probably close to an hour. And the mushrooms, oh man. When I cut into the steak, it had a nice, crisp, dark, burnt kind of smoke ring texture to it. Really, really good. Like those burnt ends on the barbecue. Got the just powerful beef flavor, nice seasoned. That was really good. Really great steak. Alright, so one thing that I do need to do, I've got an old t-shirt here. I'm gonna rip it up into pieces because I'm running low on char cloth. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple pieces in this tin that I got here, and I'm gonna cook up some char cloth. I like using old t-shirts, nice cotton t-shirts. They're already kicking around the house, they're already sitting there, they don't really have much of a purpose. So I suggest, if you're going to use t-shirts, and I mentioned this before in an older video, don't use the color black, because what's going on there? If you use black, it's going to be really difficult to tell when this is ready, because when you put it on the fire, it's basically going to cook all the color out of the fabric. And if you're using black, it's going to be really difficult to kind of look in and tell if it's done. So I got red, really easy for me to see when it's ready. And that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so my char cloth, I think, is done. Had it in the fire for quite a while, waited for the smoke to stop coming out, and then I took it out of the fire and I let it cool down so obviously I could touch it with my bare hands. And there we go. We got a beautiful puck of finished char cloth. So in here is a lot of pieces of t-shirt that I cooked up. So I'm probably going to go ahead and do another batch because I got more of that t-shirt material. And I'm going to put it all inside of a plastic bag and save it for my fire kit later on. Alright guys, so I've been kicking around camp and made a few little minor adjustments and improvements to the door. So I'll go ahead and show you what I've done right now. So I tied this piece of paracord running all the way up here, and I put a little notch in this piece of wood, and on the back side I basically tied in a knot. So now this piece of cordage is supporting the door so it stops drooping. I was also having an issue with the bottom of the door, so I went ahead and gouged in a hole, so now this entire piece kind of pivots inside of the hole, because I was having an issue with the door falling inside or outside. So now it's nestled down there in the door, or in the door frame. And basically now I'm just kind of waiting for it to get dark. So the sun's just about down behind the trees. There's still a bit of racket. I can hear four-wheelers off this way, but I think for the most part everyone's kind of heading home. So hopefully it'll be nice and quiet soon. And like I said, we got a big fire, and I'm just going to kind of kick around camp, and hearing some crackling over there in the bushes. I'm half wondering if it's a deer. So I'm going to go take a peek and leave the camera here, and I'm going to go for a bit of a walk, I guess. So I'll check back in with you guys when it's almost dark. Alright guys, so went for a bit of a walk, came back, saw a couple deer. Didn't get any amount close to them. They seen me and they took off, but that was still pretty neat. So I'm back at camp now, and I've got this Moosehead Small Batch Peppermint IPA. That's a pretty wild, bold flavor. Now, I've had one of these already at home, and I had to grab another one to come out and put it in the video because this stuff is awesome. It's one of those flavors. I was in the beer store looking, and I came across Peppermint IPA, and I thought, whoa, I've never ever heard of Peppermint IPA anywheres. anywheres. And I'm always looking at craft beer, different flavors, different countries, whatnot. I've never seen a peppermint IPA. Woo! All right, so that's a lively peppermint. Oh man, what a strange flavor to add to an IPA. That is strangely, honestly, this is kind of crazy, but refreshing. That is a different kind of beer. I really like this. 5.6%. Flavor and aroma comes in at mint, herbal, and pine. This is some really, really great stuff. Peppermint IPA. If you guys are in Nova Scotia, grab yourself a can. Awesome stuff. What a great Christmas time beer. I hope this is still around during Christmas because it's only fall right now. Great beer for Christmas Eve, Christmas night. Awesome. Wow. All right, so it is roasting in here. Holy, it is nice and warm. I gotta say, wintertime's gonna be perfect in here. Got a beautiful, nice warm glow. I see my shadows up on the wall behind the camera. Got my lantern going right now, hanging from my little shelf. I gotta say, this is really nice. I can feel the heat just pumping. I can feel the heat behind me coming off the wall. So I think this is going to be really, really great in the wintertime. I think it's going to work out really good for two people also, if I have one person sleep here and another in the shelter. And not a whole lot more to say about it. I mean, this is a really, really great shelter. I gotta say, this is working good. Man, that's warm. I can't wait till it snows. Have nice powder snow coming in, just chilling here with a big jacket on. That's gonna be fun. Gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so snack time. I got some ramen noodles and a big old fire. So I'm gonna slap these in my pot. Get the spice mix here. Spice mix. I'm gonna go ahead and slap these in my pot full of water here. I'm gonna stick it next to the fire and cook up some ramen noodles. All right, noodles are in the pot. That fire is blazing, blazing hot. Still sipping on my Creature Feature IPA. And this is by Good Robot. Out of Halifax, I believe. Yep, Roby Street, Halifax. This is a great beer. This is coming in at, trying to get some light from the fire. This is coming in at 6.4%. Great IPA. Different, very different. I like it. Excellent smell. So I'm just keeping an eye out right now for all these sparks that are bursting out of the fire, watching where they land and putting them out immediately with a stick. There's one. Just kind of keeping a very close eye on it. I think what I'm going to do, probably tomorrow maybe, is take my feet and just, or a stick or whatever, and just scrape all this loose stuff into the fire pit That way I don't have to worry about it in future trips. Now when it comes to winter and it starts snowing, it won't be a problem anyways because there'll be snow on the ground. But just for now, where a lot of the pine needles are falling onto the ground, they're trapped in the shelter, it's a fire hazard. I mean, they can catch on fire and catch me on fire, which would suck. So I think that's what I'll do, is I'll kind of push it all in, or maybe I'll light it on fire and do a controlled burn. That way it won't catch on fire again. So either way, I'm going to cook these noodles up, and it's going to be snack time, and then it's going to be, I think, bedtime, really. I'm getting pretty tired. Eyes are getting pretty heavy. So I think this will be my bedtime snack, and I'll brush my teeth and off to bed. Morning, guys. So, I had a bit of a rocky night last night. Nothing serious. I just tossing and turning. I woke up at probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was up at probably 4 o'clock in the morning. Sleeping where the camera is now on that slope was fine for my body, but for my sleeping bag it wasn't fine because I kept sliding down the hill. So I actually ended up moving my entire bed right here next to the door and leaned up against the wall and had a small fire, and I stayed really warm and comfortable right here. And then as soon as the light came up, I moved my stuff back out of the way so I can get up and kind of move around and do a few things. Still made it up in time though for the sunrise. Sun's still not even up yet. I got a cup of coffee I'm still sipping on. Got a nice hot fire. Really warm in here. Feel it from here, all the heat bouncing off the walls, even at my back. Really nice and warm. So I got a few breakfast items that I want to cook up. I got some oatmeal, and I brought some hash brown patties from home. So the hash browns, I'm gonna have to let the coals kind of burn down and put them on the grill, which is right over here hanging up, and put it over the fire and let those crisp up. And the oatmeal, I mean, that's real quick. So I'm gonna have some breakfast, kick around camp a little bit. Still trying to wake up, a little bit groggy. Ugh. Yeah, just gonna keep sipping on my coffee and get some morning breakfast on. So my oatmeal water is just about ready, and as soon as that's done, I'm gonna get that in me real quick because I'm starving. Alright, well that's hot enough for me. Got some apple cinnamon oatmeal that I put in a seed mixture, so there's flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, a whole bunch of good stuff in there. So, pour a bunch of this in here. Oh yeah, good stuff. Alright, well, time to eat up. Alright guys, so I got some hash browns on the fire right now cooking up. They're getting nice golden brown. I'm going to make up another coffee real quick, but there is a ton of background noise this morning. I'm kind of borderline irritated. I got trucks in the background, way off in the distance. There's a road that people come in for access for hunting on another piece of land. So I got trucks, I got four-wheelers, I can hear dogs already barking in the woods. So I'm filming right now in between the noise. It's just, it's not pleasant. I'm not enjoying myself right now, all that background noise. So it kind of goes hand in hand really, because I got stuff I got to do at home. So I think I'm going to go ahead and eat my hash browns, make another coffee, and I'm going to pack all my gear up and head home because I got a list of things that I need to get done. As some of you will know, in previous videos I mentioned that me and my girlfriend are expecting another baby boy, and well, that's any day now, and I still haven't even set up the crib. So that's today's task. Gotta go home, set up the crib, and get all that stuff ready. And I'll sit down, edit the video, and you'll see it when you see it, as usual. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I'm gonna sit down, eat these, like I said, pack up, and I'm gonna head out of here. So thanks for clicking on the video, and we'll be back out here again, of course. And until next time, see you guys later.